Hello everybody and welcome to our new video. So today we're going to learn a little bit more about who is Jesus. And in today's video we're going to learn that Jesus is the Good Shepherd. But first I want to ask you, what are some of your favorite things? Is your favorite thing a food maybe? A juicy hamburger or some delicious chocolate? Or is your favorite thing maybe a toy? Your teddy, your Barbie dolls, your trucks or musical instruments maybe? Or is your favorite thing a pet? A cute doggy or bunny or kitten? Oh, look at their faces. Is your favorite thing maybe a device? A game of some sort, or TV or phone? Or is your favorite thing not a thing at all, but a person? Maybe your family or your friends are your favorite thing. What is most important to you? In today's lesson, we're going to learn about somebody who had something very important that he had to give up. How would it feel if you had to give up one of your favorite things or your favorite people? How would it feel? Would it be easy to give up or would it be difficult to give up? Today we're going to read the story of Abraham and Sarah from the book of Genesis. God had promised Abraham and his wife Sarah that they would have a son, and their descendants, that is their children and their children's children, would become as great as the number of stars in the heavens. The problem was that they were both now quite old. But when Sarah was 90 and Abraham was 100, the Lord gave them a son. Abraham, who was so old now, gave his son the name Isaac. That means he laughs, because Sarah had laughed when she learned she was going to have a baby at the age of 90. I think we can all agree that Isaac became Abraham and Sarah's favorite thing, their most treasured possession. Isaac grew up and made his mother so happy, and his father was so proud of him. One day, God spoke to Abraham and asked him to do something very, very hard. God told Abraham to take Isaac to Mount Moriah. He told Abraham to kill Isaac and make him an offering to God. What would you have been thinking if you were Abraham? Did I hear you right, God? You want me to take my son and kill him? Oh, no, no. But Abraham said none of those things. He obediently got up early the next morning, gathered what he needed, and set off for Mount Moriah. God did not really want Abraham to kill Isaac, but he did want to test Abraham. Who did Abraham love more, God or Isaac? God had promised Abraham that he would be the father of a great nation through Isaac. Abraham did not know exactly how this would happen, but he knew that God would keep his promises. He and Isaac continued on up the mountain. As they walked, Isaac asked his father where the lamb for the sacrifice was. Abraham's answer shows his total faith in God. God himself will provide the lamb for the burnt offering, said Abraham. Then Abraham built an altar, placed wood upon it, and tied Isaac to it. Abraham stretched out his hand and picked up a knife. He was ready to kill his son if God so asked. But before he could do it, the angel of the Lord spoke to him. Do not lay a hand on the boy. Do not do anything to him. Now I know that you fear God, because you have not withheld from me your son, your only son. Abraham had passed the test. He had proven the most important thing in the world to him was actually his relationship with God and his obedience to him. Abraham being willing to give up his son shows us God's sacrifice of his own son, Jesus Christ. God willingly gave him up as a sacrifice for our sin. He went willingly, just as Isaac did. Abraham looked up from the altar, and there, tangled in some bushes, was a ram. He took it and used it as a burnt offering in the place of his son. The angel called to Abraham again and told him that because he had obeyed God, God would bless him and all nations through him. Wow, what a promise. Now I can imagine you are sitting at home wondering why I have been teaching you all about Abraham and Isaac and rams and all sorts of things when I said we were going to learn about Jesus being the Good Shepherd. Well, you'll see now when we're going to read a passage from John chapter 10. If you're big enough, you can read along with me. And if you're too small to read, you can listen carefully to the passage. And then we will see how it ties together. Jesus said, I am the good shepherd. I know my own and my own know me, just as the Father knows me and I know the Father. And I lay down my life for the sheep. And I have other sheep that are not of this fold, but I must bring them also. And they will listen to my voice. So there will be one flock, one shepherd. For this reason the Father loves me, because I lay down my life that I may take it up again. No one takes it from me, but I lay it down of my own accord. I have authority to lay it down, and I have authority to take it up again. This charge I have received from my Father. Okay, and that is the passage from John chapter 10, verse 14 to 18. So, can you see from this passage that Jesus giving his life for the sheep, the good shepherd who will lay down his life for the sheep, is just like God sending that ram in the story of Abraham and Isaac, the ram to take the place of Isaac as the sacrifice, just as Jesus was the sacrifice for us. Christ is the good shepherd who dies for his sheep. He lays his life down and he takes it up so that you and I can be saved, so that we can be set free from sin and the punishment of sin. Jesus beckons you and calls you to follow him, to obey him and to trust him, to be led by him into eternal life. What a wonderful promise. Jesus laid down his life, just like God sent the ram to stand in the place of Isaac. Jesus stood in the place of you and I. Thank you everybody for joining us today. I hope that we'll see you again in the next video.